Hello, my Dailey elementary writers. Welcome back to the Writers Workshop, the literary essay series for lesson 6. It is titled Citing Textual Evidence. Can you take a moment to type out in the chat or in the comments below, what is textual evidence? Go ahead and type it out. Are you typing? All right. Thank you for sharing what textual evidence is. Now, today, I want to teach you that essayists work hard to find just right quotations to include in their essays. A passage is just right for citing when it provides strong evidence for a claim, making readers say, "Ah, I see what you mean." All right, so you typed in quotes, you were right. Now, before we jump right into it, let's review where we are in the process of how to write a literary essay. We've come up with many ideas about our core novel, Esperanza Rising. We've used thought prompts and asked questions, paid attention to the character of Esperanza, and we recently decided on our big idea about Esperanza Rising. We created our box and bullets, and we've tested out our thesis to make sure that our big idea was related to more than one part of the text and that there was enough evidence to support it. We've been collecting evidence. We started out with micro stories, and today we will be looking for quotes to fit into our micro stories to support our reasons. Now, you will help me find some quotes for my literary essay on the story Fox. Of course, it's important to review your box and bullets. Now, for my essay on the story Fox, my thesis is dog is a good friend. And of course, you see my 3 reasons. 1 is that he's caring, number 2 is that he's helpful, and number 3 is that he doesn't give up on his friends. Now, here is a helpful chart to help you on choosing the appropriate quote for your essay. So, when choosing a quote, essayists ask, can I point to specific words or actions that support my reason from the quote? Can I also explain exactly how these words or actions support my reasons? You don't want to just write in a quote and not give out any explanation, right? So I decided that I would like to find one quote for my reason number 2, which is, you can read it with me, dog is a good friend because he is helpful. So I highlighted he is helpful in red because that is a point that I really want to prove to my readers. Now, I read over the book and I came up with some quotes. Here they are. Quote A, in the evenings when the air is creamy with blossom, dog and magpie relax at the mouth of the cave, enjoying each other's company. Here's quote B. Magpie tries to warn dog about Fox. He belongs nowhere, she says. He loves no one. And here's my 3rd quote. And so dog runs with magpie on his back every day through summer, through winter. Take a look at my quotes. Which would be the strongest to support my reason that dog is helpful? Would it be A? Would it be quote B? Or would it be quote C? Type it in the chat or the comments below. Which quote do you think is the strongest to support my reason that dog is helpful? All right, you should have taken a moment to type. Thank you for your contribution to our discussion. I'm going to think out loud. Let's look at quote A. In the evenings, when the air is creamy with blossom, dog and magpie relax at the mouth of the cave, enjoying each other's company. So I chose this quote because here I see it says dog and magpie are relaxing in the cave together, and it says they're enjoying each other's company, right? So I see that it shows that they're good friends, right? But now that I look at it again, it doesn't show that dog is being helpful. It just shows that both of them enjoy each other's company, right? So, can be A. Let's look at B. Magpie tries to warn dog about fox. He belongs nowhere, she says. He loves no one. Wait a minute. This quote is about magpie. It's not really about dog. So, can be B. Let's look at C, okay? Because if it's not C, then I'm gonna have to go back to my book and look for more quotes, which is okay, because I want to find the right quote. C. And so dog runs with magpie on his back every day through summer, through winter. Well, I mean, this is not just about dog running, right? This is the part where dog asks magpie to run on his back so that he can help her feel like she is flying again. Ding, ding, ding. Quote C is showing that dog is helpful. This is the one. Now, just because I found the quote doesn't mean I'm done, right? So I have to check my chart about when choosing a quote, right? So I have to ask myself, can I point to specific words or actions that support my reason, right? So I highlight in red, dog runs. Well, yeah, that's the action that dog takes to help magpie, right? And then let's look at the second question I asked. Can I explain exactly how these words or actions support my reasons? I most definitely can explain that dog is running with magpie on its back every day to help her feel that she is flying again, right? Even though she has that burnt wing, he is helping her. So I can definitely do that now. All right, so now it's time to add your quote to your micro story to prove your point, right? So this is my micro story, and my point that I want to always remember to go back to, that I want to prove, is that dog is helpful. So this is what I came up with. You can read it with me. Dog is not only a good friend, but he is very helpful throughout the book. For instance, Magpie finally is happy to be Dog's friend, and when he shows her that he can help her fly again with her broken wing. He tells her to hop on his back, and he runs as fast as he can so she can feel the rush. For example, the book says, and so Dog runs with Magpie on his back every day through summer through winter. This quote shows that he even takes her out flying every single day to help make his friend happy. He doesn't miss a day throughout the seasons. His actions clearly show that he is a helpful friend. All right, I am done. Psych! Just kidding, friends. We have to check our chart, right, when choosing a quote. So, did I point out specific words or actions, and did I explain exactly how Dog's words or actions supported my reason that dog is helpful, right? Take a moment to look at my paragraph, and I want you to respond in the chat or in the comments, right? Do you see where I pointed out specific words in my micro story to support that dog is helpful? Not the quote itself, right? But the text in black. Do you see if I explain exactly how dog's actions support my reason that dog is helpful? Do you see an explanation anywhere? Type it in the chat or the comments, please. In a moment, I will reveal where I feel that I've pointed out dog's actions and where I've explained how his actions prove that he's helpful. Are you done typing? All right, thank you for your contribution. Here it is. So I've highlighted in red, he can help her fly again, right? Referring to the running on his back, or the running with Magpie on his back. I also highlighted he tells her to hop on his back, right? Because this is explaining why he wants her on his back. I also highlighted he runs as fast as he can, and then explains that she can feel the rush as if she's flying again. I highlighted dog runs, right? I want to emphasize that. And in blue, I wrote this quote shows, right, as my explanation, right, as my transition to explain my quote. I don't just throw the quote in there. I go on to say this quote shows, and in that same sentence, I emphasize every single day he's helping his friend to feel happy and feel like she's flying again. Right? So you want to make sure you do that. Now, once you've checked both of these questions with your quote, you're not done with your micro story. Remember, or how to angle a story to make a point chart. You have to continue to use this to ensure that your micro story paragraph is solid in supporting your reason. Right? So my reason is dog is helpful. Okay? So I want you to take a moment and type in the chat, did I begin the story by repeating the point that I want to make? Right? So my point is dog is helpful. Did I start my micro story that way? Yes or no, and explain. All right. The second point that we need to focus on is, did I use words from the text? Yes, obviously. Lesson 6 is about citing textual evidence, so we did do that already. And I made sure to explain my quote and the dog's words and actions. Our third point, did I mention what dog does not do to draw attention to the fact that dog is helpful? Do you see anywhere in my microstory where I show what dog doesn't do to emphasize that he's helpful? Can you type that sentence in if you notice it? And finally, did I repeat key words from my big idea or my topic sentence, right? My topic sentence or my point is that dog is helpful. So did I repeat key words? Type in the key words that you notice that support my point that dog is helpful. Go ahead and type. Yeah, and if you notice someone typed the word that you wanted to type, go ahead and type that you agree. All right, in a moment, I will reveal on the next slide where I feel I've angled my story to make my point. Here we go. In purple, I began my story by repeating the point I wanted to make. I wrote, dog is not only a good friend, but he is very helpful throughout the book. Right? And notice how I didn't say over and over again, dog is a good friend because he is helpful. He is helpful because, he is helpful because. You want to paraphrase your sentences so you don't sound repetitive. Okay. Now in green is where I used words from the text, right? Notice how I didn't just start saying, and so dog runs, right? I started with an introductory phrase. I started with, for example, the book says, and then I included the quote. I didn't just throw the quote in there, okay? So be sure to do that as well. In blue, you'll notice that I mentioned what dog does not do as a way to show that he is helpful, right? So I wrote, he doesn't miss a day through the seasons, right? So this is showing that he does it every day. He helps his friend every day. And finally, in red are my key words that I've repeated to connect my micro story and quote back to my point that dog is helpful. So in red, you'll see helpful. You'll see it says help her. I highlighted to help make his friend happy. And at the very end, I repeat again, his actions clearly show that he is a helpful friend. I didn't say again, oh, he's a good friend because he is helpful, right? I paraphrased my point that I wanted to make. So now it is your turn to look for quotes for your literary essay on Esperanza Rising. Now this is your Writer's Workshop number 6 homework. Of course, the link is in the description below, and this is what your homework looks like. You will continue typing on your Microsoft Word document, but actually before you pull up your document, your job is to find one quote for each of your micro stories that you've written so far in your last homework assignment. So you should have at least 3 quotes, one for each micro story. If you have 4 micro stories, then you will have 4 quotes. If you have 5 micro stories, then you will have 5 quotes. Okay. I've included the important chart for checking your quote. Right. So the chart is when choosing a quote, essayist asks. So make sure you check off both of those, that you are able to point out specific words or actions to support your reason, and you're able to explain exactly how the quote supports your reason. Okay. Once you've found your quotes, then you may open up your Word document for your Writer's Workshop homework number 5. It should be titled Your Name, Micro Stories. You will read over each of your micro story, and you will find the best spot to insert your quote, okay, to place your quote. But remember, don't just throw it in there. Make sure you introduce it. Right? You can say, for example, in chapter 7, Esperanza says, right, or her friend says, all right, so make sure you include a transitional phrase. Now, once you've inserted your quote, make sure you reread your paragraph to make sure it makes sense and it supports your reason. Again, I've included the chart of how to angle a story to make your point. Please copy and paste both of these charts onto your homework assignment so that you can refer to them when you are typing your essay, your paragraphs out, and when you are rereading your paragraphs to check if your quote and your micro stories continue to make sense and support each reason. And this is just a reminder that your link to your homework is below in the description. Of course, it is titled 4th Grade Literary Essay, Homework 06. Your homework must be completed on Microsoft Word through OneDrive. Okay. I will also include the link to OneDrive in the description as well. Okay, this is a reminder, your homework assignment is titled Your Name, Micro Stories. Okay, and my example that I'm giving you is Landon. Landon's homework will be titled Landon, Micro Stories. You would just open it up, and if you haven't done so already, share your Microsoft Word document with your teacher's email. And remember to click Can Edit before clicking OK to share. If you have any questions, make sure you contact your teacher either through Zoom meetings or through Microsoft Teams chat. If you don't reach out to us, then we won't know if you need help. Okay? All right. This concludes our Writer's Workshop, the Literary Essay Series for Lesson 6. Thank you for joining me, my daily writers. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.